The time I like is the rush hour because I like the rush, the pushing of the people. I like it all so much. Such a massive motion. Do not know where it goes. I move with the movement and I have the touch. Welcome. Welcome to the neighborhood, boys and girls. I'm glad you could make it. Yeah, one of these days I'm just going to get stuck in Mr. Rogers and do the whole show like that. Hey, Spectra, Tammy Joe, how are you? What's going on, man? Hey, is Kelly watching you with you tonight? CJ, what's up? Hey, Grant, how are you, man? Glad to see you. Glad you enjoyed your deck, man. I'm tickled, and there's a lot to dive into with that. I'm actually got some cool news. I started my building my Patreon page today, and we're gonna get into a scenario. A bunch of you guys been asking for extra stuff, and like just meditations and things like that. So yeah, I'm going to be getting that up after procrastinating forever. Saturn is in my house of income right now for the next 6 months. So I kind of got the bullwhip on my butt right at the moment because Saturn will really reward you if you're doing your part of it, man. But if you're sitting around in action, not a good thing. So anyway, I'm getting on the stick, man. I'm going to see what's going to happen. It feels kind of, I told you guys last week, I woke up like with just this really hopeful feeling, and that's kind of really continued well. And it feels like the vibe, at least my personal vibe is changing. And, I don't know. It feels like some avenues are kind of like the ice flow is sort of breaking, and there's some avenues opening up in some really cool ways. I'm very excited about that. All right, I'm going to keep the. First of all, welcome to the Angel Channel, BLAR. We're brought to you every week by our proud sponsors, FriedOkra.Entertainment, my bud Ernie, and Audrey Asciutto Realty here in Sebring. Man, Audrey is a badass agent, man, and really proud to be associated with both of them, and very grateful for their help keeping us afloat. So thanks. Um, yeah, let's see. I had a bunch of people contact me last week about the shadow meditation, the shadow cave meditation, and it seemed to kind of like strike a chord. So I'm very excited about that. But I had a bunch of questions about like exactly what the symbols mean. So I'm not going to go into super length. If you want a more detailed description, give me a call or an email down here, wizard@wizardofod.com. And I'll fill you in on more detail. But just kind of broad strokes, that was a cool visualization and kind of an overall really good symbol about being able to get down through you. But the actual pieces in the visualization all had like really specific meaning, like lighting yourself up and bringing your light down to the subconscious, and then lighting up that very first little tunnel and an avenue down that opened up into the big room. And that's kind of like the first top layer of getting down to the basement. And then when you looked up and you saw the light way off in the distance, that's kind of like the light of your consciousness. And the paper floating down that turned out to be the picture, that's like your ego and the you that you're bringing from your conscious mind down into your subconscious. And then to dive through the water, that's your emotions, and that's all the, like, man, your subconscious and your emotions like hand in hand. So diving down through that, is part of just getting down to the deepest layers. And that's the whole gig of this, to like ride down to where it really counts and you can really do some real work. And then um, and then once the water drained away and you're in these rooms with lots of different tunnels, those are places you're going to go back, if you use this frequently or often. You're going to like wind up exploring each one of those little things, and there's stuff down there, man. Your subconscious is as huge, maybe huger, if that's a word, than your conscious mind. So, man, there's all kinds of stuff and debris and things that are going on down there that you want to just continue to work on the unification of the light and shadow parts of you. And then the big room is like where it all lives, and that's kind of like the center core. And the whole idea of like standing in the center of that room while all of the randoms and the crazies and the like just chaotic little personifications were running around, and lighting that up and dissolving those was just kind of the first step to getting involved into the deeper modes of all the, like in the back of that, we talked about there being the tall shadows that weren't really moving, those are things you brought from your childhood. And, just like with Jung's trip down his path, he kind of personified all of those and actually had an interaction with those and dealt with them. And that's where the real work and the real results come from. And then finally at the end, going out and the whole room being so full, that's just kind of indicative of all of the stuff that you've stored throughout the entirety of your life. And then, going back now out through another tunnel and into the whole crystal room, and it was like just an elevation of energy, and getting that one crystal sort of programmed to bring you back to this space was kind of a really nice astral mnemonic, a little trigger, a little key card to get into this space like really fast. And every time you do it, you can just go there, do some work, get out of there. And I feel really, I've had some, your shadow's a weird place, man, and you've done some crazy thoughts and crazy, it's like that's the place. The truth of the matter is we are all possibilities, every one of us. We're everything from the worst serial killer, like demonic being, to an angelic saint, like just pure elevated and ascended master. And at the those are the things at the end of both of the spectrum. And then somewhere in between are all the choices we make on a daily basis. So, everyone has those potentials, but, we all choose to live where our frequency vibrates and where we go with that. So, those all live down there. The dark, scary stuff lives down there, but that's also where your magic lives, your real power. Like when you do projective effect, your mind is telling your subconscious what to do and giving it instructions. And that's where the real energy comes from. It's like very connected to your actual pure light, which is completely magic. So, just a continued unification of that, always a really good goal. And again, there's a lot more detail I could go into. If you're interested in that, email me at wizard@wizardofbob.com. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't think they're here right at the moment. All right, we'll save that for later. Arnie's as well. I'm going to go ahead and send Arnie a message right now. Our good friend Arnie Layton, man. I saw a Facebook post today about him working on his sciatica and asking for some help. And he'd been using the violet flame energy. And for my point of view, the violet flame energy is really good for a lot of things, but it's really good more to me for opening up your clairvoyance and kind of being in the upper areas. The stuff that really does the best healing work for me after decades of trying them all, is that golden healing light, man, and just bringing that, infusing your whole body with that. Um, that's very effective stuff. And if you stay with that, it will super work. Also, um, that sciatica thing, man. I wound up dislocating my hip, and that was a whole thing, and it was a real problem for a long time. But that also exacerbated my sciatic nerve, and that was a real problem. And I wound up healing that with my healing bowls. And I would suggest some really specific notes for you. The E note, that is your solar plexus, your third chakra, and a low, as low of a C as you can get, which is your root chakra, your first chakra. And you're going to want to play those bowls and charge up each one of your chakras individually. Just get that energy really jacked up in your solar plexus, and run that down to your first chakra. Really build that up, and then let that energy just flow back and forth between those chakras, and slowly just start easing that down with your attention, down your leg and down that nerve. And my stuff that had really bugged me for 15 years, man, it's like good. My hip would hurt so bad sometimes that I would wake up in the middle of the night just screaming, and I'd get it healed. Like, oh man, okay, I got it there. I'd work on it, get it really healed, and then I'd twist my leg a certain way, or it was just really easy to like wob it out again. So it's finally like fixed. Even some bone stuff that I've had since I was like 15 years old, man, like super fixed. So try, if you've got somebody that really knows how to use their bowls, and could put some intent into the bowls and use that energy to flow that back and forth through there, I think you'll find some results. Um, yeah. Dennis, what's up, man? Glad you could make it. So here we are, 1st of September already. I can't really believe we've gone this, like the year's already shot. Um, but we are coming up on my favorite time of the year. And tonight, today we had our first kind of cool day, and as the sun set and a cool breeze is blowing through, it was like, it's on the way. Coming up in a couple of weeks will be the autumn equinox, which is one of my 4 favorite holidays of the year. And that's wonderful energy, and opens the door to like, I think, what's the best time of the year, man, that little fall jag. So I'm going to get all spiffy and sparkly, and the winter solstice after that, man, that's to me, like, that's creative gold that day. I'd like the best stuff I've like ever done in my life has come from inspiration birthed on that day. And so I want to get all really sparkly for that period of time. And I'm getting ready to do a fast. And as it turns out, my teacher's in the middle of a fast right now. He just wound up doing, if he continued on today, it would be the 5th day. Little ambitious. I've never gone that far. I cut it off at 72, although, like, to be honest, I could have gone farther, but I didn't. And the whole point to doing a fast, a 3-day fast, is creating what they call autophagy. And that's where your body, because it doesn't have external food being put in and calories being put in, it goes to all your damaged cells, the stuff like coating your organs, like, and it winds up eating all of that stuff, and new cells like replace that. So the first day I'm a little draggy, maybe by 18, 19 hours, I'm a little cranky. But then after that, I get this burst of energy. And then the next day, like, I'm like really pretty, like, I'm super aware. All of my senses are just like bullet on, and my clairvoyant abilities super open. And then the next day I'm like, rather than feeling physically drained, I'm super jacked up and energized. And that's because you're clean, man. You're a new person, like inside there. So I'm going to, a few days before the solstice or the equinox, I'm going to do my fast then, and get all sparkly for that equinox celebration. And we're going to be having a show on the 22nd. I think the equinox is the 21st. And we're going to be having our regular Monday show on the 22nd. So I'm going to plan up a little ritual for us and do some energy work, and maybe pick something specific for us to work on and see if we can make something happen. I think that would be really super fun. So anyway, I'll remind you guys as time's coming up. But think about joining me, man. Again, and give it a shot. I promise you will not regret doing it. All right. Wow, time is really rolling. Okay. So tonight is really about, I know a bunch of you out there are working on your energy and working on your projective effects. And I'm just overjoyed with the progress you guys are making. And I wanted to throw out a few little tricks to, kind of elevate and power you up. I realized, and I haven't really talked about this, maybe a couple times over the last year and a half, but it bears repeating. Music for me is I prepare for all of my effects practice by listening to music beforehand. A lot of times these days it's stuff I've written myself, but for a long time, I would find those songs that, like, every once in a while you'd hear a song and, oh man, it would just rush up your spine. You'd get goosebumps and just want to wear it out playing it over and over and over. I built a whole playlist of songs like that give me different really intense feelings that then you can take to focus and use that in your projective practice. And that really super intense energy, that's the energy that you need to actually move things and do materializations and all of telekinetic work. Being able to affect something in the real material world with your energy. One of my favorite forms of music for this is old school techno and trance music, man. And I loaded up at the top of the chat an old Paul Van Dyke video that I've looked at a million times. And the thing that's really good about this, first of all that trance music and techno stuff was written at 140 beats per minute. And that, it's that 4 on the floor, boom, 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 boom. So it's just a solid, like, drum groove at that specific rate. And there's been a bunch of studies done showing that rate of beat just in and of itself induces a light trance state. So that's why people get so crazy at the concerts. Like I did art and shot photography at Ultrafest for about 8 years. And man, you would just see people go places. Some of them were doing drugs, but a lot of them were just riding that musical feel. And there was nothing like being at the main stage when a really badass drop would happen, and the music would be going on, the whole crowd's just grooving and they're making this incredible wave of energy, and it comes up and it goes down, just kind of builds and builds and builds and builds, and the drums are boom. And when that boom would happen at the end of the drop, man, it was just like this laser beam of energy that would shoot up, and I would be there with my straw. I got to tell you, just like soaking that up, man, because that is amazing energy. And the Van Dyke song that I loaded up has that kind of like groove to it. And I like this one because the quiet part of it's kind of long and you can just ride with it and you just keep building your energy and building your energy and building your energy. And then you can either release it or start all over again and just keep building until you are just supercharged and like lighting up the room. Really very good. So anyway, take advantage of that link at the top of the chat and check it out. All right. Yeah, man. I don't know. All right, here we're going to do this. All right, we're going to go ahead and create some sacred space. The light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the light of the source, brilliant light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. With the light of the source, I banish and clean this space. I make this place pure. We come together again in joy to share our energy, to create our sacred space, a place of sanctuary and safety and light. We ask that our angels and guides be with us this evening and shine their light of knowledge and wisdom on us. We ask that we have eyes to see, ears to hear, and the wisdom to understand. And with absolute gratitude for all of it. Infinite unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. We open our circle. All right. So, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do a breathing exercise that I want you guys to do with me. I want you to sit in a comfortable position with your feet on the floor, your legs not crossed, and I want you to rest both your hands on your knees. Okay. This is designed to elevate your prana, your energy, your chi, and brighten your aura significantly. Okay, which we're going to use in a few minutes. There's method to my madness. All right. So the first one we're going to do two series. One of this will be the exercise. Let's see. Let me tilt down a little bit more. you're going to come into your chest, and on the inhale, you're going to go, and I want you to really expand your chest and draw that energy in. All right, so we're going to count 30 of those, and you're going to go in a rhythm. I'll count them off, and we're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to do 30 of those, and then at the we're going to hold at the end of that 30. We're going to hold for 20 seconds. All right, and then we're going to take a breath, and we're going to do a different series. We're going to be doing having our hands on our knees, and with the same intake of breath, we're going to be raising our hands and raising the energy up. So it's like, all right, we're going to do 30 of those. And then we're going to hold breath for 20 seconds. And we're going to take a super deep breath. And we're going to let that breath out while humming. And I want you to get a really deep, resonant hum, not just a but I want your head to vibrate. We're gonna be jacking up the nitric oxide. All right, and then from there we're gonna go down to zero space, and then we're gonna take a nice little trip up into the sky and open up your infinite projective abilities. All right. So here we go. Hands on your chest and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really stretch it. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Hold for 20. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a breath. Just sit in that energy for a second. All right, let's go to the second sequence. Hands on the knees. And begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Hold for 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Take a nice breath. Take a couple, 2 or 3 really nice, just regular deep breaths. All right. Now I want you to inhale as deeply as you can. Use your solar plexus to draw in that air. Fill your lungs up to the absolute max. And when you exhale, there's not going to be any count on this. I just want you to hum until you get to the absolute end of that energy. And then just be still for a second. All right. Inhale super deep into the nose. Use your solar plexus. Fill it up as much as you can. And release. All right, I want you just to hang here for about 30 seconds. Let that energy just infuse all parts of your body and your light body. You're shining so bright now. All right, we're going to take 3 really deep cleansing breaths, and we're going to get down. Normally, we would want to be in super stillness zone, but I just want to take you out of the world, and we're going to go to blank space and create another reality on that frequency. All right. So here we go. Inhale, use your solar plexus, draw in golden healing light, warm, into the nose, fill it up. And release, sinking down into the stillness. The world falls away. No thoughts. Deeper silence. All right, inhale. Bright gold light. Infuse your whole being. Fill it up as much as you can. And release. Sinking deeper into the bliss. Into the nothing and everything. Deeper. Deeper. Silence. All right, last one. Inhale. Make it count. Really fill it up, pack it in, and release. Deeper into silence. No mind. No future, no past. Silence. All right, take a nice breath and just stay in that space. We're going to go on a little trip. All right, you look down at your body, and it's no longer your physical body. It's you kind of in that shape, but you're just pure energy. just pure white, crackly energy. And out of the blank stillness around us, you find yourself standing on the top of a high mountaintop, on a flat plateau, looking up at the infinite sky. And you realize none of the rules of the world apply here. Everything is possible. And standing on the top of the mountain, you reach out to the clouds and start to form some thunder clouds. You watch them roll and boil, and the peaks just shoot straight up, and the lightning is crackling inside it. And with your energy, you draw it towards you. And you begin to raise up off the ground, off the rock, and you're floating up into space. And you're now in the center of the storm. And the wind is blowing, and you feel it just energizing you. And the air is electric and crackly, and it just feels ultra alive. And as you see lightning bolts happening, you reach out with your energy and you make them come to you. And in kind of slow motion, the bolts come out of the clouds and they wrap around your arms and up your body, sending this just energetic bliss cascading through your entire being. And it lights up your light brighter and brighter. And you pull more and more. It's just fun, like to have that control over that energy. And you bring it to you and just keep brightening up and brightening up and brightening up. And then you decide to throw a few bolts of yourself, like right out of your hand. And you just feel like Thor, like you're in your super body, man. You're your super self, like, invincible. And you float back down to the surface of the rock. And in front of you, you see this large glass bubble. Encasing an enormous multifaceted diamond that is spinning and rotating. And the sunlight is causing prisms and light beams to shoot out of the gem. And you realize that it's for you, that it represents activating every ability you have to its fullest. The ones you know and want, but the ones you haven't even thought about, didn't even know were possible, all of them, to activate them to their fullness, for you to be your biggest self. And you look down at your hands and there's just this crackly electric energy, like lightning just circulating all over your body. And you just feel this power. And you realize that the only way you're going to get that is to go through that glass, which you think at the beginning is no big deal. You walk up to it and kind of pound on it. You realize that it is not just regular glass. It's super thick, bulletproof glass. You take a step back. charge up, make your hands into energy hammers, and boom! And it shakes. You go back and boom! Little cracks start to happen. Boom! The cracks get bigger and bigger, and you're just drawing energy and flowing it down your arms. Boom! And the cracks start happening across the whole surface of it. Boom! 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 And suddenly the glass shatters. And you find yourself just mesmerized by this beautiful gem. You walk up to it and touch it, hold it in your hands, and run that energy through it. It explodes with life, radiating light out in every direction, filling you with the most elevated, blissful energy you've ever felt, and ideas and visuals running through your mind, and just this kaleidoscope of magic and wonder. You take a really deep breath, and you realize that the gem has disappeared, and it's in you now, always yours. It's always been yours, but now you know. And all of those things are not waiting to be woken up. You've just woken all of them up. A sense of completion and joy. Take a deep breath. You start to come back. Slowly, slowly. Each breath. Find yourself in your body. Feeling charged and alive and full of power that you never even knew you had. Yours to use any time you want, for anything you want. And I challenge you to take that energy after the show and go do something impossible. Go move something, go play with some clouds. We just wrote a really deep groove, a really good program. Go mess with some clouds. Anything you want to do, use it. Know that you are an infinite being with infinite possibilities yet to be realized. And they're yours for the taking. And how bad do you want it? What are you willing to do to go get it? What are you willing to do to evolve and grow and let loose of the things that keep you earthbound? Yeah. It's worth the journey. All right. I'm still up in the thunderstorm, like making lightning happen. It's one of my favorite things to do. All right, we didn't really mention it, but anybody looking for a reading, I've got my tarot cards with me. Happy to help anybody. You know, I had a friend send a message today saying that they were freaking out and really thought that they had been cursed, and they were like gone into kind of a little panic mode a little bit and convinced themselves that they're cursed. And the reason that they gave was that their hair is starting to fall out, and that the more energy work they do, the more their hair falls out. I'm like, wow, hate to tell you, but it happens. It's not a curse. And you are a very, very powerful person. And the more you write that truth in your mind, the more that will mess with you, man. And you can mess with yourself as good as anyone. Okay, boy, 2012. All right. Not sure I know who you are, so let's do a little exercise. Um, I want you to take 3 really nice deep breaths and get really still. And if you have a really specific question, beam that to me really hard. And imagine just we're standing in front of each other, eye to eye, looking at each other right in the eye. And let me just connect, all right? Focus. All right, words of wisdom from my boy 2012. Words of wisdom from my boy 2012. Words of wisdom from my boy 2012. Well, here we go. This could not be more appropriate. I guess, we're still riding in the energy of the meditation we just did. Here, let me tilt this up a little bit. The first card, like I have 3 Magus cards in my deck. This is the first Magus card, the Magus of the body. And this is all about acquiring your occult skills and your projective abilities and opening those up and having the wizard like demonstrate to you like possibilities you never knew existed. So like if you've been practicing, ramp it up. If you haven't been practicing, start and go looking for, like the elevation energy is really great. I love being up in the stratosphere, but like this is really calling for you to be able to bring that energy down, make it dense enough to make something happen in the real world. So that's like, top of list for you. The second card is the 3 of Wands, and the 3 of Wands represents watching. It's kind of like in the Rider-Waite deck, there was a guy standing up on a cliff with his wand. There's 2 other wands stuck next to him, and he's overlooking the harbor as the big sailing ships come in, cargo ships, to drop the stuff off. And that represents seeing the work of your labor starting to bear fruit, and like your ships are coming in, and what you've been working on is worthwhile and worthy of you expending more energy to it. But you can also take a moment to feel a bit of satisfaction in that the fruits of a long labor have really are really on the edge of blooming in a very, very big way. And this is the victory card. This is the Chariot. And the Chariot is about a single-minded focus, and just going with warp speed, letting nothing stand in your way, focused on the Holy Grail, and that chariot is just driving and knocking off any obstructions or any obstacles in your path along the way. And like all that is focused on is the achieving of that goal. So, man, this is about somebody that's like really interested in magic and doing practice and warp speed, man. Get your goods, get on it, and enjoy the ones you have. Make those bloom bigger, and go looking for the ones that you haven't even thought of yet, and watch fruits of your labor come in and enjoy in total victory. There you go. That could have been worse. I hope that does it for you, man. Good to have your energy here. That was a treat, actually. All right, let's see. Yeah, we've got time for one more. Jason, yeah. Oh, good. Yeah, boy says thanks. That makes total sense, and I will continue to work on your energy. You know, yeah, you've got skills, work on it. Yeah, you've got skills, dude. All right, Jason, I hope you're using that. I hope you're using that shadow cave, and really like sink in tonight's that lightning thing, man, and really like do that. You'll be amazed. All right, get really focused for me, my brother. Oh. So while I was shuffling here, one card just popped out, the devil card. Keep your vibration high, man. Hang with people that are vibrating high and keep your vibration high. You're in a really good zone, man. Yeah. All right, focus really hard. Words of wisdom for my friend Jacob. Words of wisdom for my friend Jacob. Words of wisdom for my friend Jacob. I said Jacob. God, man, I always call Jacob Jason, and I always call Jason Jacob. Sorry, my brother. Words of wisdom for my friend Jason. Words of wisdom for my friend Jason. Words of wisdom for my friend Jason. Alrighty, let's see what we got here. All right. First card is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is like a total mind thing. And in several decks, this card shows like a king up on a balcony overlooking his kingdom, but around the edge of the balcony are like eight swords put in the balcony railing, right? So it looks like a jail cell. And he's kind of like looking out through the swords, and it looks like he's trapped, like he can't get out, right? And the gig to this card is that's just his perspective, because that's the only way he's looking. And if he just turned around and looked back into the room, the door's open, he could walk out and go anywhere he wants. So if you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling a little boxed in, if it feels like your options have sort of narrowed down at the moment, change your perspective, man. Change, like, I wish you were a little farther along, but try this mindset. Do you know what color your aura is? Have you reached out to do that? Think of doing a scenario where you change that, right? You want to look at your situation with different eyes, but unless you change something about like your set points and your perspective point of view, you won't be able to look at that with different eyes. So my favorite way to do that is to shift my color frequency. You could do that with just raising yourself up really high. That lightning thing today, if you did that for 20 minutes and you just, that would work pretty good. So anyway, you're not trapped. Just look at it from a different perspective. Just turn around and go the other way, right? There's always a way out. All right. The Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is kind of like the crash. Like the Three of Cups is the ultimate wedding party, man. The feast to end all feast, right? And everybody has a great time. They're celebrating this huge thing and this event and all the stuff that went on. And now the Four of Cups is like the morning after, like with the hangover, and everybody's kind of like, wow, was that really worth it? So, try to keep your attitude good, and that perspective change I was talking about from the first card will really help you with this as well as elevating your energy out of, like, you can get a little dark sometimes, man. Yeah, like that whole like depression area, you don't want to get anywhere near any of that. And you want to be able to like change that perspective from this being like, this sucks. I hate it, man. It's a terrible feeling, to a really good zone, which, again, the lightning charge up thing, man. When you elevate your energy like that, and you're really feeling it, especially if you go do an effect after that, dude. Like, I know you just go do it, man. It feels so good. And instead of feeling like kind of attacked and like stuff's happening to you, your energy feels like your super body feels invincible. That's where we went tonight. Like, that super body is invincible. Like, it doesn't feel lightning, it owns lightning. Right? All right. And last card, really great card, Two of Wands. It's two people coming together for the benefit of a third person. So, yeah, there's a couple people out there, man, with your well-being on their mind. And, you could also be one of those two people helping someone else. That's always the way the circle runs. But I'm really picking up that there's, somebody that I don't think it's so much like they're concerned and they feel like they need to help you, but they're really proud of you and happy about you. And they want to help you, want to see you succeed, and want to see you achieve your happiest, biggest self. So just keep your mind like to be open to possibilities, and know that you're not trapped, that that's a way of thinking and not a way of reality. And, keep your energy elevated. After the celebration, it can always be a little low, but that's okay. And accept help when it comes along, because it's going to. All right. All right. There we go. Hey, what's up, Mr. Zen? Good to see you. All right, let's see. I think that's everybody for tonight. Oh, Grant. All right. Yeah, for sure. Oh, Dennis. All right. Yeah. All right. We'll finish that up. You're welcome, Jason. We need to talk soon. All right. All right. Let's see, Dennis. Yeah, Dennis, focus really hard for me, man. Let me get a good shuffle on these two. Hold on just a second. I've really been enjoying using my tarot deck a lot. It's really fun to let it flow through me, and I love reading the angels readings, and they just keep getting more accurate. But sometimes I feel like a bystander in that, and this is just really super fun. I never get ever get tired of the cards. All right, one more shuffle. All right, focus really hard. Words of wisdom from my friend Dennis. Words of wisdom from my friend Dennis. Words of wisdom from my friend Dennis. All right, man. Six of Wands. You've had some successes. You've got goodness going on. This is a super happy card. It's like energy's flowing. It's kind of come out of a situation that was a little stagnant and things are kind of moving ahead again. It feels really good, right? The next card is the Hanged Man. And the Hangman's not a wob card. Some people get all weird about this card because it's, the original Rider-Waite version of that's the guy hanging upside down by a foot. It's kind of a classic card you see used as a example of a tarot card a lot. But the Hanged Man is about the cessation of forward movement for the moment, a look backward to consider everything that has gone before and to assess it. This goes hand in hand with the shadow work that we've been doing and that whole like shadow cave thing, and processing, accepting, assimilating, all of those things before you move ahead. So take some time for self-reflection, some really deep, lengthy soul searching over the course of everything it's taken to get you to this point. And coming up, Wheel of Fortune, man. This is always an auspicious card, and good things are on the way. Things are pretty good right now, but things are moving ahead, man. And that Six of Wands says, the energy's right for all of that to continue on, and it feels good to kind of be breaking out a little bit and getting some things happening, right? All right, there you go, my brother. All right, now last but not least, Grant gets out. Did you escape or did they let you out? All right, Grant. 3 deep breaths, man. Really focus. If you have a specific question, beam that to me hard. All right. Get a nice shuffle. Stay focused. Words of wisdom for my friend Grant. Words of wisdom for my friend Grant. Words of wisdom for my friend Grant. Oh boy. All right. So the first card is the Empress. And, that would say to me, you're in a pretty good place and you're with someone that is really making you happy and showing you what life is about and enjoying life. And you're in a period right now where you're digging life, man. You're like kind of opening up to some new areas and they all feel really good. And this is, the Empress is about like the joy of what the earth has to share. One of the symbols for her is the cornucopia, your cup runneth over. And, the Empress on the Fool's journey, when the Fool meets the Empress, like there's no strangers, man. She's really welcoming and bringing you in. And, I'm really kind of picking up that like your magic is kind of like the house right now, and she's sort of inviting you in, welcoming you to the fold, and showing some of the pleasures of some of the new explorations you're going to be doing. Next card is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords is like about internal mental arguments, man. This is the quintessential card that represents circle thinking about shit and like getting obsessed with something and it's this potential for like having fights with people that aren't even fighting with you. It's all taking place in your mind. Anytime you see the swords, you're in the air, and that's the whole mental kind of like intensity, right? So whatever's going on that you're obsessing about, let go, man. Just let go, man, in every way, shape, or form, because it doesn't matter at all. As a matter of fact, you're in a really good zone, and any of this is your own personal construction, not the truth. Because the next card is the Ace of Cups, and that is where the realization that you're opening up and blooming and ready for real love and experiencing that on a very deep and real level. This is also where your clairvoyance connects to the heavens, and your intuition, your clairvoyant seeing. All of those abilities live within this card, and that's also like a heavenly blessing. Like, so you're getting really a major green light, man, to continue on to dig in really deep into some of your new areas of exploration, and to really enjoy those to the absolute max. Yeah. You're really welcome, Grant. Grant says thanks so much for the show tonight and the meditation. You're really welcome. It's one of my favorite ones. I'd like to go there so much. All right. So it looks like we've come to the end of the spectacle once again. And as always, hit the like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Man, it really super helps. And I'll enjoy sharing space with you guys again next week. And as always, my deepest gratitude for coming and sharing with us. And those of you that are getting back to me with progress and I've had a few people go, oh man, I get it now. I felt it. Oh yeah, I'm feeling this. It's so gratifying. That's the whole reason I'm doing this. All right. So anyway, thank you. Love you, and I will see you guys next week. We happily close our circle and bid everyone on their happy way. We thank the angels and our guides for their wisdom, their light, their love of the source. With absolute gratitude for it all. Infinite, unconditional love. And our wish for bliss to the source. Until next week, we close our circle.